got 9 translation sentences here. We could work through all of these first, and then try to use our remaining time to preview the midterm. Or we could look at the midterm right now. And when I say look at the midterm, I mean I'm actually going to open the midterm, and we're going to look at it together. Because I don't think you'll remember everything from it during the week. I will let you choose.
Can we do like 3 of these and then go midterm?
Sure.
Yeah, we could each take one and.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
And then
We're actually gonna take a long week.
It's not a bad idea.
Just kidding.
No!
I knew I liked having you around for a reason.
Ugh.
But, very interesting.
Okay, who wants to take, actually these big enough for you guys? Real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a little bigger.
Enhance. All right, who wants to take number 1?
Okay. I can. Okay. Or did you want it?
Well, it's too late now, Ashley. It's yours.
Go. He stole it.
The teacher has decided that it's yours now.
NRK. Ein halagos. Kai halagos. Ein proston theon. Kai theos. Ein halagos.
Correct. All right, now translate it.
Okay, so it'd be in, and then it says, so that one is beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Ein, so that's the Amy paradigm.
Correct.
Is it the imperfect paradigm?
It is.
Perfect. So like,
We've got some things so far here. So we know it's a me. We know it's imperfect. And then of course, presumably you know the mood is indicative because you haven't learned.
yeah, anything
the mood
else?
yet. So imperfect, indicative.
And the Amy ones, they don't have like passive or active or anything
No.
like that. Okay. So would it be, because it's followed by halagos, so would it be third person singular?
That's correct.
Okay. And so then halagos, which appears like 3 or 4 times, is singular, masculine, nominative,
Yes.
and so we have the word and the word with was, pros.
oh,
Oh man.
And you can use your textbook. That's always a standing offer with teaching. Always use
'Cause
your
I don't know
textbook,
what
or if you have your charts with you, you can use those.
now
Toward?
Toward is possible. And it's actually a very interesting, very interesting
Okay.
usage of class.
So then it's ton theon. So neuter singular?
Not neuter,
Not neuter. Masculine?
masculine.
Masculine singular.
Then what's the case?
Nominative?
Ton theon?
Oh,
Look right after ton theon. What do you see?
oh, theos. So it's I don't remember the case on that one. Ton theon.
Os, u, o, on.
So accusative.
Accusative. Accusative. So it's pros with the accusative.
Toward God.
Toward or with.
Kai theos. So that's the masculine singular nominative.
Yes.
was, and then ha logos. So it's in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was toward God, and God was the Word.
Yep, it's perfectly passable wooden translation. Yep,
Yeah.
good job.
Would it be he too? Could it be he? Like he was?
No, because like we know Ain has a subject, right? And we have two nominatives in that construction, so we know it's got to be one of those two as a subject. So if Ain didn't have a clear subject, then yes, it could be he. So you could translate. This is a very interesting.
Yeah, because like I know the English
Mhm.
for it, and so the pros ton theon is like really weird.
Yeah, well, this is a very interesting usage of pros because a lot of commentators, a lot of Greek scholars will look at this and be like, well, that's interesting.
Because it's not soon.
Pros has an extra layer of meaning that actually, when it's being used in the accusative of persons, usually communicates relationship. So it's not, when I preached on this text a few months ago, I brought that fact out, where somebody might be with someone, with another person, they're walking together, they're talking together. You might expect to see pros with the accusative there. There's a kind of personal orientation there. Very interesting. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and what God was, the Word was, would be another way you could translate that.
So it just completely breaks all the rules that we just learned.
Not quite. Not quite. There's deeper rules that you don't know yet. The deeper magic, so to speak.
So I was actually stuck on the very first word, the aim. I mean, I knew what the English translation was, but this one was throwing me. I said, well, that's the Amy. But it's not, is it? Because it doesn't have the,
Oh yeah, why is it the apostrophe or the breathing mark at the front?
Just because it's a vowel.
Oh, okay.
So this is, what you've got here is the epsilon in N is capitalized, and so you can't have the breathing mark over a capital vowel. It will come right before it.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, it's a spelling convention.
Were you thinking it was augmented?
no, I was thinking,
He was wondering if it was this, perhaps,
yes.
as opposed to this. But it's this. That is what it
Yeah,
is.
I did, yes.
So, and then of course Microsoft very unhelpfully says all this is spelled incorrectly, so it's really hard to see the Yoda subscript here on RK, because that actually is in the dative case. So, and this is another interesting thing. Definiteness, right, something taking a the in English, is not always dependent on there being an article in Greek. Objects of prepositions, by nature, are definite, because to be the object of a preposition is to be specified in a sentence.
Okay.
That is a story for another time. Who wants number 2?
Uded.
It's like doing that last rep at the gym when you don't want to.
Uded.
want to pull up the
Gar. Hoi. Adelphoi. Let's see. Atu. Epistion. Ace. Aton. Auton. That's Atu. Aton. Okay. So obviously, would the gar in this case be because?
It's probably going to be 4.
4?
Okay. 4 because, I mean, kind of the Venn diagram there is kind of a circle.
Okay. So it'd be 4 not even. And then hoi adelphoi, his brothers. So for not even his brothers. Pestion. So that'd be third person plural, right? Of the imperfect?
Yep.
So that'd be
Verb
they.
is what?
Sorry?
Verb is what? Mixed flexible form.
Pisteuo.
Pisteuo. Okay.
So epistion would be, so they believe. Isn't imperfect kind of past tense?
Yeah, past tense and its imperfective aspect.
So, didn't believe. Wait, no, there's nothing.
Oh, is that right?
Ace. Oh, not even. Well, why is the not even all the way up there? It's not fair.
That's where Greek put it.
Why? It's not nice. And then, okay, so ace is.
They didn't speak this for you, Adam.
Well, they should have. So ace is into. But also ace could be in because that's just how things are. In.
Oh, he's beginning to accept it.
Okay. So how do we know the not even applies to? Because obviously when we put the verse together, it's his own brothers did not even believe in him.
Yeah, for his own brothers were not believing him. For not even his own brothers were believing in him, right?
So how do we know where that like the not even goes? Just because it doesn't make sense any other way?
Because it's going to be modifying a verb, generally speaking.
Well, but you can translate it 2 ways, right? For not even his own, or his brothers.
You could say not even his own brothers were believing in him, or you could say for his own brothers were not even believing in him. You could bring that into English both ways, but it doesn't change the meaning. The same sentiment is communicated because it's negating the whole clause.
Well, that was my attempt.
It was correct.
You got it?
You got it. You did in fact get it.
Dan, this is all you. Bring
All
it
right.
home. Bring it home.
Kai es Lethane,
Ace Aelfin.
Ace
Aelfin.
Elfin.
Ace elf.
Ace
That's high Greek, or high Elvish, isn't it?
Aelfin. No, it's cooler. Tolkien wishes. Believe it or not, that's the aorist form of Ericomai.
What?
Take your word for it.
All right. Kai es Elvin. Jesus eis to
Ta.
ta hieron.
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 Got a rough breathing word.
Oh, thank you. Hieron. Kai is and. He went in. Jesus into temple.
Yep, there you go. You can smooth it out and just say, and Jesus went into the temple. I just put he went in there because it's an aorist active indicative from Ace Ericomai. So I figured I'd just give you that one.
Yeah.
All right. You guys want to do one more? Or do you want me to go ahead and pull up the midterm? Midterm.
That's my vote.
I haven't actually
Do
looked
you
too much
want
at
to
the
not
midterm.
record this?
I think it'll be fine.
All right.
The other students,
Yeah, okay.
they won't. If they watch it, it'll be good. They'll get to see the midterm.
Well, are you allowed to post it though?
This is not the midterm that Plummer uses in class.
Oh, okay.
This is the midterm you give from the publisher. I'm not giving you the answers. We're just looking at it together. I'm not going to walk through the whole midterm and explain everything to you. That is not what's happening.
Aw.
Yeah. You fish. So we're just going to look at it so you know what you need to know. Because I'm too lazy to make a study guide. That's the moral of the story here. So, the midterm will consist, the first section will be 16 vocabulary words.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
Worth 16 points. The upshot for all of you, though, is guess what you won't be doing this week? Any homework.
So we can review vocabulary.
Yeah, you can prepare yourself. So this is comprehensive for the first 8 chapters. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of different things here, right? Agape, aletheia, uranos, semeion, martyreo, meta, soon, those sorts of things.
Ooh, they even threw in cases.
No. There you go. Then randomly, Therapio has a tab in front of it. I'll probably fix that before I have it printed because it'll bother me. You will also have to do things like bring out. This is freaking funny. Take a look at this. Who did this? B&H. Look at this. Who's responsible for this? Decline cardia, and they have phone A there. Do not do phone A. Do not do cardia. Do phone A.
I was like, wait, those are
Like,
different matters.
who is responsible for this? I'm seeing this for the first time. And Technon, right? So you'll have to produce some noun paradigms. This will be good, because I've heard occasional murmurings of like, oh, I don't remember the cases. Well, guess what? You have a great opportunity to review them and to learn them. So you will need to produce those. So Technon will be your word. Now I will say, actually, I reserve the right to modify this exam between here and there.
So everything we're doing.
So it could be Technon. It could be a different word. So
But we're seeing just kind of the gist of what we
you're
should
seeing
be
a gist of what you
memorizing.
need to know.
Okay.
Yeah, you will have to deal with verb paradigms. Luo being conjugated in the verb paradigms that you know. Amy, the verb paradigms that you know. Lexical forms of prepositions, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So
Easy.
my keyboard popping up when I didn't ask.
You gotta get good at using your
Microsoft and I are. And then there will be a whole bunch of
Oh,
parsing.
no.
Sweet. I love parsing. It's the greatest. Making parsing great again.
We're gonna make parsing great again. And then you have translations. Oh, a whole mess of them too. You guys are gonna be busy beavers next week. But some of these you should recognize. And then of course, there will be a Greek to English section here. But that is a bonus question.
Okay, it's extra credit.
Yeah.
I am probably going to go through this and identify if there are any paradigms that we covered that are not on the exam. If there are, there is a high probability that I will add them as an extra credit section on the exam.
Okay.
So, be incentivized to study. And I know just glimpsing at this, you probably won't remember everything, but let's just go through it one more time so you know what to expect. A whole mess of vocabulary. You can earn a lot of easy points that way, right? 16 points, in fact. Some paradigms that should be fairly easy to produce, right? You know, phone, phones, phonane, or phone, phonane, phonai, phonon, phonice, phonos, right? You know, technon, technu, techno, technon, techna, technon, technois, technom, right? Those are the things you should be expecting. Luo, lues, lue, luamen, lueta, luusin, right? These are the things we should be. We have the imperfect middle passive indicative. And so do not be surprised if extra credit, the imperfect active indicative, shows up on the exam.
Are there gonna be contractions?
Contract vowels? I don't know. That doesn't look like it. That's a great idea for something for me to add, though.
I mean-
Oh no.
What a great idea, Adam.
My
What a
brain
great-
can't handle
My
it.
bad.
Everyone who watches this recording who takes the modified midterm, it's Adam's fault if there's contract verbs on there. Just like
Thanks,
Because
it's-
they didn't add augments.
That's already on there, Adam. Like, you can't add it if it's already there. Luamain, Elu, Eluata, right? We know. Eluamatha, Elu Esta, Eluanta. Amain, Ace, Ain, Eamon, Ada, Ason. You know these, I hope. Then you have to figure these bad boys out. And then the parsing, oh yeah, there are actually contract verbs in the parsing, so.
Scroll up, please. No, back to the top instructions for the parsing. How do those points add up? 25 points, half points each box, but there's 7.
It's 49.
Okay.
Well,
Because the other
49
doesn't,
squares.
it doesn't add up.
So there's a half a point somewhere.
I think
It's floating.
I think it's basically the maximum you can get is 25, right?
But I'm saying the math doesn't add up.
Yeah, I think it's designed basically to be like, you can think of it more of like you just miss a half point for everything you get wrong.
Okay.
There's more ways.
So if you miss everything, you still get half a point.
Okay.
There's still half a point waiting
Yeah.
for you.
That's right. If you miss it all, you still get half a point.
It's entirely plausible. And after all, I mean, like, guys, I didn't make this exam because look at this. I mean, just like,
Let's do the alpha
look
pattern
at this.
with the eta.
Just who did this? Why? It just bothers me, my soul. Okay.
That would be
so-
a good bonus question, the alpha pattern.
Yeah, that probably is going to be that and the masculine. I kind of actually, yeah. Let me put it to you this way. Since I'm probably too lazy to actually modify the quiz. Any paradigms that are adjacent to the ones that you're doing. So if you're doing the phone A paradigm and you're like, I also know the alpha paradigm. You're doing the neuter paradigm, you're like, but I also know the masculine paradigm. On the back of your quiz or your midterm exam, you're gonna get extra credit for every one of those paradigms you write out. And it will be a subjective amount because I'm not going to give you like
300%.
yeah. But bear in mind, to those who are not here, if you watch this video, some of you may have been looking at some of your quizzes and your quiz scores in despair, thinking my grade must be terrible. The extra credit in producing the other paradigms, think of it as an attempt at redemption for missing things on the quiz. You might find that greater than 100% on this quiz, on this exam, is possible if I'm feeling very generous and decide to refund you those points. So, because again, all I care about is that you know Greek. I have no interest beyond that because this is not for credit. You're not going to seminary. Well, you might go to seminary someday, but that's not what this is, right? This is just for people to learn Greek. So if I can incentivize you to bring your grade up, that would be good. So, any questions about the midterm?
What's the is it like 100 points total?
I believe so.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair with what we've seen on this thing so far, I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't add up to 100. So, but yeah, that'll be a standing decree. Every additional paradigm you can produce on the back will be extra credit.
Did we get midterm printouts so we can put it on our fridge?
Of like what your final result is. It used to be, if you were in Plummer's class on his elementary Greek and you got 100% or greater on one of his exams, you were inducted into the A.T. Robertson Secret Society, which used to, before COVID, used to have meetings on campus once a year where all the Greek dorks would come together. There was a secret passcode to a secret Facebook group and webpage. And I'll have you know, I am a member of the A.T. Robertson
Hey,
Secret
are you
Society.
allowed to talk about the secret society on YouTube?
The first rule
The first rule of the Secret Society. Well, it's because it's a qualification, but you have to get a 100% on one of Plumber's exams. I don't have any, I can't let you into the Secret Society. Now, if you get 100% on one of these exams,
You can put a word.
I could ask Dr. Plummer how he feels about admitting you to the A.T. Robertson Secret Society. And if you're ever at Southern Seminary campus, you could participate. You could learn the secret passcode to their Facebook group. It's possible. That's possible. So, there you go. You have now seen the midterm. You have beheld it. Do you want to go back to doing more of the translation sentences, or are you guys just like, let me free, Prof?
Personally, my brain is fried.
Ashley has one vote for wanting to be freed, but
But I will
Ashley
stay.
does not unilaterally decide.
But I will stay if other people want to stay.
Gentlemen.
I'll have mercy on Ashley.
You guys done? Or you want to do any more? You're done? Okay, cool deal. Oh, I don't have to make